All right, welcome everyone to our first grammar skills video. We've done a number of study skills advice videos for how to study at home, how to become more independent. I decided I have a lot of questions from my students about some grammar topics. So I thought I would make a few videos about grammar skills where I talk about kind of the basic ideas of a certain grammar topic. This week we're talking about the present perfect. This is a tense that is kind of difficult for people to understand, especially people coming from a Somali speaking background or an Arabic speaking background. So I thought I would speak about this today. The present perfect form, as you might know, it's the subject plus have or has plus the past participle. So if your subject is like I, you, we, they, you're going to use have in the sentence. And if it's singular, like he, she, or it, you're going to use has in the sentence. So she has done this. She has gone here. And the question, just like in most forms in English, you're going to switch the subject and the verb have or has. So have you been to this place? And then for the negative, you can say the subject, for example, I haven't or hasn't done something, or have never or has never plus past participle. So for example, you can say, I have been to Ethiopia. The I is the subject, have or has, plus the past participle. So I have been to Ethiopia in my life. The question would be, have you been to Ethiopia? And then the two answers could be, yes, I have, no, I haven't. I think most of my students have been to Ethiopia at least once. And then if you want to say no, you can say, if you want for a negative sentence, you can say, I haven't been to Ethiopia. In this meaning, you can also say, I have never been to Ethiopia. And we'll talk about this again in a little bit. Now, so that's the form of it. It's always going to stay with this form. Now, one other thing to keep in mind is that these are the signal words that you will see along with present perfect. Signal words are really important to study because they help you. A lot of the times we think of the signal word first. A lot of the times we think about using the word yet, or we think about using the word recently, or maybe up to now. We think about using one of these signal words, and it can help you if you know that with this signal word, with these words, you're usually going to use present perfect. So for example, yet, you can say, I haven't done the homework yet. Or you can say, I have already done the homework. You can say with since, you can say, I have lived in Hargeisa since 2005. Or you can say, I have lived in Hargeisa for 16 years. So you can try different sentences with these words to try to get different meanings, different ideas expressed with the present perfect. But just know that these words are commonly used with that tense. Now, you're probably thinking, what does present perfect mean? Why do you use it? Why can't I just use past simple or present simple, something like this? Basically, there's a lot of different meanings, but basically, if you ask someone a question, if you ask a question with the present perfect, usually you are asking if something has been completed or not. You're asking about the result of an action. So for example, if a parent, a mother or father asks their child, have you done your homework? They're asking about if it is finished or not, like if it is completed or not. The same thing if I say, have you seen Isa? I'm asking, like, have you completed that action? Have you seen him or not? Like, it's kind of just like a light switch. It's like yes or no. Have you completed this action recently? So have you done your homework? Have you seen Isa? Have you gone to class? Have you eaten breakfast? Maybe you can ask someone like, have you prayed Asr? Have you prayed Salat al-Asr? Just checking to see if the person has done that action. Another meaning is life experience, something that you have done in your life. So present perfect can also talk about life experiences, things you have done in your life. For this meaning, we usually use the words ever and never. You've probably seen these words before, ever and never, and this is the way that you use them for the most part. So, have you ever been to Ethiopia? I'm asking, in your life, have you done this thing? Have you been to Ethiopia? And then I can also say, have you ever gone to La Scale? Been and gone are both kind of the same, have pretty much the same meaning. So in the affirmative, you can answer with, yes, I have. Like, have you ever been to Ethiopia? Yes, I have. In the negative, you can answer with, no, I haven't, or no, I have never been there. I have never gone there. So never is used in the negative here. Excellent. The last point I want to talk about today is the present perfect versus the past simple. And basically, there's one major difference between the two, is that present perfect speaks about the past, but without a specific time. Past simple speaks about something that occurred at a specific time. So I have been to Ethiopia. That is in the past, but I don't know at what time it was. It could be last year, it could be 10 years ago, it could be last week, but you have completed that action. Now, if you say, if you put a time in there like last year or last week or 2019 or something, you're going to immediately change to the past simple. So I went to Ethiopia last year. I went to Ethiopia in 2020, something like that. But if you do not have a specific time, you're just talking about in your life, you're going to say, I have been to Ethiopia. So yeah, that is it for today. I just wanted to give you a short lesson about the present perfect. And you can come back to this video if you ever have trouble with the present perfect, or if you're doing it for class and you need a reminder. This video can serve as a resource for you as you continue to learn grammar and review grammar that you've already learned. Great. Thank you very much, everyone. Have a good evening, good morning, wherever you are and whenever you're watching this. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.